Hey guys, this is DFD, aka Dark Frozen Depths, and this is another Mistrain video this time. I did say in a previous Mistrain video in one of the comments that I wanted to go over the gems, because these are very powerful and quite game changing, so I suggest you do try to get those. But also there's some new stuff that's been introduced in a few of the different things too that I kinda wanna go over. I didn't get a lot of this stuff though because of the fact that it's like I'm grinding pretty well without it, and you can do so, but getting it honestly does help you, and then on top of that too is the fact that some of it is very much worth. So it does depend on what you do, but again, you may or may not need it depending on what you're really trying to go after and what you're trying to aim for. But the main thing, like I said, I'm gonna show it off in my inventory is the gems, because these, like I said, very game changing. Now, the deal with the gems is the fact that you can equip them on your weapons, your armors, and your accessories. Each weapon, armor, and accessory seems to have at least one gem slot. I don't know if that's true for the lower rarity stuff, but you should be using S or double S rarity stuff anyways. There's really no point to using anything lower than that. If you're using it anything lower than that, you are early in the game, or you're simply just not doing anything that's optimal. So, that's something to know. But the gems. Very potent boosts. Some things can stack with each other, others cannot. I'm pretty sure these boosters can stack as long as they're different types. Like, for example, I can put attack boost 3 on something and then get attack boost 2. And that should stack. Getting 2 of attack boost 3 on the same weapon wouldn't stack. So that's how that should be. They will also mention that something doesn't stack. Like I know Row Ritual and all this other stuff like that, where specific types of damage they don't stack. So they'll let you know. But there is a lot, and I mean a lot of different stuff that is very powerful. Like, of course, I've shown the boosters, and there's other types of them too. I can even filter it so it's strictly one type. That will make it a little bit easier to deal with. So going through the weapons, a lot of the really good ones give you a boost in the stats. Attack boost, magic attack boost, like this one. Recovery boost is another one I'd say is pretty good. If you feel like you're missing a lot, get some hit boost, some speed boost, and some luck boost. They're probably on the armor ones though. Of course, defense, magic defense, they have those too. If you feel like you need some more defenses, those can help you out. But I went for more offensive ones that I tried to keep on for the weapons and tried to upgrade them. All target ritual, very good for my AoE hitters. And then the different types of weapon masters, they're pretty good as well. These bond ones I'll go over a little bit later after I've gone through the 3 different types, but keep them in mind, they're pretty interesting. But there's these two where it's like the attack boost, but it gives you a bigger boost if your HP is below a certain point. This is like 25% attack if anybody's HP drops below 80%. So there's that. And there's some where it's like if you keep your HP full. Now, the ones that keep your HP full, good for if you're starting off and doing quick kills, but I wouldn't focus on them over the dilemma thing, because dilemma kicks in the minute your HP hits 80% or less, and if you start getting smacked, it's going to be that low. So that said, perfect pet might be good for if you end up having, like, say, healers or have some other interesting gem that I go through. May or may not be worth it. But this is the ones I was talking about with the 2, because these give you 2 stat boosts. Up to 10% for 2 stats. This will be very good for weapons that happen to have 2 slots, if you happen to have them. Because you can get up to 4 slots for 10% more. But they mix up attack and recovery. Attack and magic attack is very good for characters that be doing both. If you're doing elemental damage, good chances it's magic attack. So that can help for those cases. But as you can see, tons of stuff there. Magic attack and hit. If you want some accuracy, get some hit. Hit and speed. The perfect pet recovery may be good for your healers, but the dilemmas, if they happen to get smacked, there's a lot of enemies that do random stuff for AoE. This can help you out for that one and just spike the crap out of the recovery. But again, it's all up to you on that one. I took this one because I do use some Vivian and Termini. They're both healers. I use them a lot. I don't have Fussin', but this could be helpful for her too, like having something that ups her offense and then giving her a recovery for a second. But there's S layers of stuff too. I kept them just in case, but I may not even need them. I'm probably going to end up going through all my stuff and just getting rid of a lot of this. The inspirations, though, I don't seem to see them from the double S versions. So I'm not sure if I want to get rid of these or not. But these, if you have a team that has all the same weapon type, this can really help you out. So there you go. It'll give you nice little buffs that help out. Like, say you have a whole bunch of damage dealers that are like artifact users. This bumps them all up. And it tends to focus on the stat they use the most, too. So artifacts tend to be magic attack. For instance, staffs tend to be magic attack. You get the picture. Not bad for the weapons. Armors, I want to go over some really specific stuff with the armors, but of course they have your usual, like the defense boosters and magic defense. Luck boost is probably a pretty good one to have, too, because luck affects quite a few things. I found out it affects the chances of doing connect, like connecting with others. It has nothing to do with Link. Link skills are something totally different. Link forces and follow-ups. But luck tends to have the boost when characters connects, which means that if a connect goes off, they'll do more damage and not miss. Even if their hit is abysmal, they will not miss. That's how good a connect is. But it'll up the chances of critical hits. It will up the chances of landing debuffs. It will up the chances of resisting debuffs. Luck does quite a lot. That's why I say get some luck boosts. It's not bad to have those. The resistances, if you know what you're up against for the enemies, then these can help. That's why I kept a couple. Like cut, blow, all that type of stuff. Win, resist. It depends. Dilemma, you need to have your HP pretty low for these dilemmas to really help, but they reduce the damage you take. And the same for the tip top, you have to have HP full. The thing I hate with the HP full, though, is the fact that the minute it is just 1 HP lost, you will not have these effects. That's why I tend to like the dilemmas a little bit more. But it depends on what happens. Like, for example, I got tip top defenses and all that. And then perfect defense, very good one. Flat out chance of nullifying the damage you take. It is 10% at max, but it's a very good one. This is going to be the next one I level up. So if somebody gets smacked, there's a chance they just won't take any damage at all. And if you know your enemies are doing, like, they give a lot of AoE stuff like all out plan or the random things can sip and help, single unit, you get the idea for that. There's bond for this too. There's a bond for the accessory again. I'll go over after everything else. This I like using because if you get smacked, there's a chance you either decrease the enemy stats, which is what the drains do, or the boost will up your own stats if you get smacked at a higher chance. I think it's like 15% for it's 15% for drains, goes up to 30% for the boost. So it's a chance to up your stuff for or decrease the enemies for 2 turns, and it's pretty noticeable, I would say. So these, in combination with some of the weapon stuff, can give you some pretty insane, like, stat boosting. Like, for example, you can sip and have, like, the Dilemma attack boosting thing, then you can have attack 3, and then you can have, like, damage boost attack, and you get, like, a crap ton, like, almost 50% more attack power. If you know what you're doing, these are pretty good. But I like the drains, where it drains enemies' stats, because it will reduce the what they do to you. Sometimes I get the boosters too, because I did get a boost magic attack for somebody. I'm using this right now where if I get attacked, the enemy's defense goes down and I can start doing more damage. That's another one that goes hand in hand with other stuff. So they have some good combinations with that. Hit, boost, speed. Hit might be a good one too, if you drain the enemy's accuracy. Like if your speed's pretty up there, then you can use the hit one. This one I made sure to level up very, very quickly because this is overpowered. The description is wrong at first, but here's what it really does once you level it up. After being hit, there's a chance you can heal. And the heal is pretty noticeable. It says moderate, but it's a pretty decent boost. There's a lot of cases where I get smacked by an enemy and I heal more than what damage they did to me. So this keeps my HP pretty high. I don't think you can put two of them on the same character, because it says effect cannot stack. But getting one per character still can keep everybody alive. I hope to get more of these. I really do. And then of course, chances to increase your defense when the turn starts and all that type of stuff for these. Like, that's what all those strengths and all that do. Now, accessories is where things get a little bit interesting, because accessories are always level 1. So are the bond gems as well, but accessories are always level 1. You cannot level these up. However, they give some very potent stuff. Like, start of the turn, chance to reduce the attack on enemies. And then this one I use defense because I like dishing out more damage sometimes. Get like big boosts or like resistances, like sleep 15%. I think that gives you like upwards of like 60% resistance when done right. Maybe more if you can stack it with something else. So there's those. The ripples are very good in my opinion. Chance to inflict different types of statuses and whatnot too. It says for the first attack of each turn. I don't know if it's the first attack for out of the entire party or if the character has to attack first. Either way, these ripples are pretty good. Because I put like a whole bunch of them and just have chances to just do a crap ton of different status effects. Mastery. That's where you can get a chance to inflict a status of all types of attacks. I don't know if it's specific to just the character or the entire team. Again, I haven't really figured that out yet. But it helps you out with inflicting statuses on enemies, so that's good. Of course, bond gems, I'll go over that. Opening influence is another one I kind of like too, because at the start of a fight, you can inflict a status effect on enemies. And I have quite a few of them. I like the paralysis one, because a lot of enemies are kind of weak to paralysis. And they're stunned as well. And then, the masteries, it ups your chances of landing this stuff, but I don't think it has a chance of putting it on enemies themselves. I think it ups your chances of applying charm, but not give a chance of charm just happening without you doing anything. If that makes sense. Now, I've been neglecting anything about these. Here's what the bond do. You don't get any effect unless you have your weapon, armor, and accessory with at least one bond gem each. But when you do this and have all three, stats are increased by 50 across the board. Like, stats are increased by 50. The only one that isn't is HP, and of course RP, because you know you don't get like 50 RP. But attack, magic, defense, all of that plus 50. Now, if you are not able to level up any gems, this will come and help you out. But you have to be strong enough to even get these. There's a catch to that, and I'll explain that one later. But just know, cheap little stat boost for across the board, period, point blank. 50 isn't much when you start leveling up, but it is making you stronger. And I mean, it is upping a whole bunch of different stuff too. The fact that hit, speed, and what go up by 50, pretty nice, because it's like a party skill in a way. It's like having an extra party skill when you have this. So if you have nothing else, it is definitely your fallback right there. Now, I mentioned leveling this stuff up Big thing with leveling up your gems. First off, you can only up your weapon and your armor. You can't up any gems that you can't up any accessories, you can't up any gems like the bond ones where they're stuck at level 1. Now, depending on the rarity determines how much you overall need to try to upgrade these things for, but you need a lot of gold and a lot of materials for this, the weapon and the armor bricks and all that. Hold on to those. Trust me. These things eat them up like crazy. To fully upgrade a weapon or armor gem, like not the accessory, the weapon or armor ones, to fully upgrade those two that I highlighted under this rarity, you need 125 of the double S bars of its matching type. And my computer's starting to wear, I don't know why. To make it worse, though, you need, I think it was about 650,000 gold, somewhere around that mark. If you're using the silver bars, it takes somewhere around like 750,000, and you need 250 of the silver bars. So if you're using those, then you're going to spend even more gold. It generally would take anywhere between, I'd say, 650,000 gold to 950,000 per gem. They are expensive to upgrade. They're worth it because you can swap them out however you want and then go back to them later and all that type of stuff. But they are expensive to upgrade. Gems are absurdly good, but that's why they're so costly. And that's why it's such a hassle to even get them too. You can try your luck at some stuff and see if you get more without doing the gem caves, but gem caves is where you get a lot of better stuff. You will probably not see the bond gems without that. You probably won't see the good stuff like the ripples without it. You need to grind for gems. Trust me, they're game changing. They make you so much more powerful. It makes it a lot easier. Now, as for the grind spots, if you really want to try to be prepared for that stuff, you need to be capable of acquiring the rank 5 or the rank 6 ones. Rank 5 is the only place you get these bond gems from, which again is just a free boost across the board. Now, a lot of the stuff that comes from the same caves that give you bond, like these up here, they will come from the 5th cave, like the 5th rank. 6th rank tends to be anything that comes past the little bond gem markers right there. And they do have some more powerful stuff, depending on what it's about. Like the opening influence is so good, in my opinion. I mean, it's a 20% chance, yeah, but I've seen them go off quite a bit. Like, started a wave, just inflict it, and you see one, maybe multiple enemies getting hit with it. Grind gems out. They're so good. And then on top of that too, if you sell them, you can get these little little materials right here. You see I have 843 of them, and you can trade them for more like stuff to upgrade your weapons, your armor, and your gems. Very good stuff. Very, very, very good stuff. And the interesting thing is that I managed to buy them, but weapons, well, I didn't get a weapon that has it, but weapons, armor, and accessories can sometimes have 2 slots. There's a chance of that with the lottery that pops up on it. Most will get 1. Sometimes you'll get stuff with 2. And with that said, they can be even more powerful with the gems. I would say that the gem slots outweigh the weapon stats, or the armor stats, or the accessory stats. I say that outweighs them. Which is why I would suggest, if you can, get these 2 slot things. They don't have to be double S, but get the 2 slot stuff. Grind the stage until maybe a 2nd slot gem thing will pop up. They're powerful. 2 slots are powerful. Very, very powerful. Especially if you have something where you can't really do too much with it. Like, the axe damage down, I don't see too many enemies that even use axes. So, what good is this really going to do for me? But the fact that I can put a gem in there changes everything. So the main thing I use it for is the gem slot, and the debuff resistance isn't bad either. But that's just it. And then it's like, okay, see, I got this Iris Ring, stun resistance. I can put a gem right here and get more stun resistance. If it had 2 slots, I could probably get 2 sets of stun resistance and stack them. That's what I mean. So 2 slot is better than 1 in my opinion. In my opinion. But you are going to want to start using gems for your stuff. They are very strong. Like, look at this. I get reduced damage from pest enemies with whoever uses this. And then if they get smacked, enemies have their attack power reduced. Like, it is so good to have that. It is so good to have that. Now, the other thing I wanted to go over, some stuff in the shop. Definitely pay attention to this exchange market. There's been some updates on it, and there's quite a few things that are worth it. Of course, half anniversary. If you're going to trade for layers, just try to see what they do. You never know who you might need. But I can say off the top of my head that anybody that does AoE stuff is very good. Those that have some more like damage resistance things might make a decent tank, and they'll really help with that. I can tell you right off the bat that one of the very good ones for blow type teams is this one here, Volkalingen, however you pronounce her name, because if you get the specific weapon, this specific blow weapon that you can even get right now, if you get that where it drains HP, put that on her. Get proper gems to keep her HP up. She will tank. She has a chance to heal herself. When she attacks, she has a chance to heal herself. You can give her some other stuff to have a chance to heal herself. She will not die if you set it up correctly. She just will not die. If you set it up correctly, she just won't die. I'm serious about that. And she can still do AoE damage, and even decent like regular damage. Her special skill does a lot of damage to one enemy. If you can get one enemy on the screen, that is. So there you go. Others I like using Pancreas. This version of Tayshet, not too great, but there's going to be another one later down the line that is a must pull, from what I found out. So maybe the original, you might want to get her and try and raise her. I don't know. This is if you get the half anniversary ones. Like, I can even quickly just go over some stuff. Penang Hill, good. Queensway, good. Winomio, good. Yatazu, good. Fayette's okay. Amen's very good, because she's like one of the AoE spammers for Pierce. Boris, very good if you want to spam paralysis. You don't need Salem. Don't trade for Salem. Grind her from the storyline. 2-Fab normal is the best chance to get her and get any layers or whatever. It's been calculated. Grind that. You don't need to trade for her here. Beijing, one of hers is good. I don't think the original is all that great in my opinion, but you never know. Phenom's not too bad either. Orland's isn't that good, but she might be useful in some cases. Like, if you need more light damage, she can probably help out with that. Pancreas, I love using her. She's really good in my opinion. Funamata, I haven't used too much unless I'm really trying to do single target damage. She's very good at single target. Yoshino's is good across the board. I haven't used Merman's or Ohana too much. But Vivian, very, very good. Putra's good. I don't know about these last 3. But who knows? Like, if you did get a half anniversary ticket, there you go. But these crystals that you get from the EXP caves, these are pretty much just like trading for these Hiyaki sets, which give you quite a substantial stat boost across the board. Like, these series effects aren't too bad if you want to try and get for them. But the thing is, though, they don't come with slots. So, be wary about that. They don't come with jump slots. So, at this point, I would say to ignore them. Because of the simple fact that they do not come with jump slots. Yes, the stat boosts are pretty high, but they're like that because they don't come with jump slots. So, keep that in mind. But that is a pretty sizable HP boost, but you honestly don't need it. So, if you're going to do anything here, it's probably going to be for the mist gears. You're going to start needing the strengthening materials. Maybe a few other things in here. This one, The exhibition medals, I need to go get more because I haven't done it just yet. But easy way to get these layers if you haven't already. Like, you can get the Phenom from this, so you probably don't need to sip and switch for her. Yadazuki either. You probably don't need to trade for them, or Rowan if she's in here too. I didn't see her, but yeah. But the exhibition medals, you can get them for free, so ignore those three on the half anniversary. They're good, but you can get them for free here. There's more Hyaki stuff, don't worry about it. The mist gears are pretty good always. You're probably going to want these things. I want to trade for these and then the gears. These strengthening materials. So that's there. Subjugation medals. They changed how the subjugation stuff works. You get Queensway from here, so don't trade for her on that. If you can get their layer gears from here, don't worry about trading for them. That's all I got to say for that. And then there's more mining permits too if you really want to try and get that. But these gears are always good. The equipment wouldn't be bad, honestly, if it wasn't for the fact you can't put gems on it. That's the downside. Here's a reason why you might want to start looking at the subjugation stuff. Old event weapons are here, and some of them are pretty good at what they sip and do. That liquid blade's only for Vivienne, but the fact that you can still have a chance to get like a gem slot, an extra gem slot, you can have a chance of that. That's great. And then on top of that too, the ones that are like not refreshed, like this is the weapon I was talking about. Put this on Volkwingen. Give her like a couple of gems that will keep her HP up. Maybe even give her some party skills for it. She will not die. She won't die. This is a very good weapon for just blow characters in general, but she abuses the crap out of it. There's other interesting stuff here. I suggest getting these because these are very good. You can get a pretty sizable damage increase for those types of weapons, and then you can get gems for them. I didn't mean to do that. But then you can get gems for them. So, worth doing your hunting quests. There's 2 different types. Go through them, get your free stuff, and there you go. Of course, layer summon if you do all that. The events things, I don't need to really go over too much. You guys should figure out what you need to do for the events. Just remember, free characters are usually from here too. So, there's that. I don't worry too much about a lot of this stuff. I just grab as I go. But, something to note. This is like a chance to up your attack power every time you strike with the weapon. So that's what power attack really does. And, the breaks are like the opposite. They have a chance to like decrease the enemies when you attack. I figured that out. Just want to point that out real quick. The casino. Oh god, the casino. A lot of these gears are for limited layers that was in there. You only get 50. I've traded for a lot of the stuff, and they have not refreshed. You only get 50. My suggestion, trade for them if you pull those characters, but don't trade for any extra. Like, don't trade for characters you don't have. There are 2 party skills in here. I managed to get them really, really quickly. I made sure to get those. Because, this one is pretty interesting because it increases everybody's luck, but also increases the gold you gain too. So if you slap this one in your gold grind, it will get you a lot more from those. Then on top of that, this gives you 3 strikes right here. The 3 normal fire, wind, and water ones where you up the damage from that type of stuff. It's not just your staff characters that do that type of thing. So there you go. Now the weapons. These don't have slots. But what they do is increase your growth rate. If you are grinding stuff like, say, the training event, this can help you get all sorts of stuff faster. So, that said, you may or may not want these. Personally, though, if you're going to do it, definitely try to get these. These come with a gem slot. These upgraded versions. Like, they're the same stat increases, but they have... Like, they're the same growth rate increases, but they also have higher stats and come with a gem slot. You only get 1 of each, and these other ones refresh, but you definitely want to try and get these. Like, at least try to. Same case for the armor. They have them for the armor sets. And then accessories, of course, too. Not to mention, the accessories do have, pretty decent, resistances right there, too. And then, of course, items. You can get some stuff from here, too. But this is also the reason why I brought up the gems, because, I'm trying to get these every single, week, roughly. Because this is the only way you're getting your gems without, the gem caves. You might roll some good stuff, you might not. They're all random what they can give you. Because the lottery is just massive. But if you happen to get the, like, masters for, like, the different types of weapons, maybe even the all target, definitely the 3s. Definitely the boost 3s. Depending on what you get is okay or not. It depends. But, I wouldn't worry too much about the Guardian type stuff unless you happen to get, like, a perfect defense. So there's that. I mean, these stat boosters, of course, luck boost. They're fine, but only if you happen to get, like, a perfect defense. These will give you the ripples and the masteries. So, there's that. If you're not so lucky, you can get the boost. The feeble openings are pretty good, too, depending on how you use those. So you can trade casino coins for those type of gems. This, I don't know what this is even about. This is like, I know you have to spend real money to get these type of things, but But also, something I forgot to mention too. Gotcha medals, try to save them up. Because, ignore all of this other stuff. And try to get these HP amulets. You don't need any other amulets. And as good as these SS guarantees are, get the amulets. You're doing daily pulls and getting some more stuff anyways. It's like I can go to the gacha right now since the day reset, and I can go premium, free, pull, and then we'll see what pops out. I don't care what pops out because I've got like most of the stuff in there. But now that I got that 1,000, I'm going to exchange and get this last HP amulet. That is what you need to go after, the HP amulets. They will give you HP increases without having to actually train or grind or whatever, and you can put them on whoever characters you want to. That's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go to Strengthen, I'm going to go to Base, and I'm going to give somebody this. I want to give somebody that I know I'm going to use a lot. So, of course, the good one's Termini, but Vivian's behind, so I'm going to give her this one. So, I can give her the increase. I have like 10 of them, apparently. So they trade like in tens. But, there you go. And thanks to that, she now has higher stat caps. So that's what I wanted to do with that one. The HP amulets and all that is pretty good. I have other amulets, I just can't use them because they're like super overpowered. But again, free HP boost for everybody because HP is what manipulates all your stats. Like seriously. I even grinded these 3 out from the one previous event. But HP is what manipulates your base stats. If you don't have a high max HP, your stats aren't going that far. Which is why I've been grinding out so many characters. I mean, look at all these like 7100s and all sorts of stuff. Kind of been working on them right here from like Puerto Rico upwards that aren't 7100. I've been going to training event for them. I've been going back just grinding out for a lot of people. And then I try to make sure bare minimum for that. I just got her, so I need to train her a lot. But that's just it. Just like grind out your stats and try to get them as high as possible. Gems will help you out with that too. Like, it is ridiculous. But trade for those amulets, trade for gems if you can. Try to get more gems whenever that pops up because again, this cave right here, this gem cave, see, not currently active. When it's active, go for it. Get some gems out of it. They're very good. They're very strong. They're very powerful. You need a lot of gold, though, too, which is why I've been going to here. And I've been constantly just upgrading this. So I'm spending like 300 Mist Jewels. It's not that much, just to get my 12 runs. And I've gotten so strong to where I can just auto battle without any issues whatsoever. So grind that out, get that type of stuff. You might want to do Exhibition Arena for some stuff. You might want to do Hunting Quest for some stuff. The mining thing comes from the materials. I need to start doing some more of them pretty soon. But they are at random days and whatnot, and I've got plenty to just unlock whatever I want. So there you go. But depending on what you're doing, you may need the EXP cave. But the gold one's definitely the most important. Do your hunting quest, do your exhibition arena, do the casino if you can, because there's that. And then on top of that too, if you're grinding out some stuff, dispatch mission, independent training. In fact, I need to reset the independent training as well. I don't know who to sip and go for. I'll figure it out off camera. But again, just do all that, grind stuff and get it, because a lot of this is very, very powerful. Very, 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 very powerful. And then on top of that too, the more characters you raise, the more weapon master you get and everything else. So there's that. But anyways, that's all for this. More of this will come soon. My suggestion to you, try to grind out the training camp as much as you can, because when this training camp goes, it's going to be a while before it comes back, and each new training camp gives you more stat boosts too. The weakest version of the training camp gives you almost like, I think, 4,500 HP, and it does not take much power to do the weakest one. Easy is pathetically easy. It's like a 2,700, and you can get like up to like 4,500 HP. And it's only going to increase as we keep getting more. Inferno, which is what I've been doing, this is why you see training possible in so many of these guys. And then she doesn't have it, because she's higher than that. But you get the picture. But anyways, that's all for this. More of this is going to come soon. I'm going to try and grind out the gold stuff. But again, get the gems, get gold, get a lot of different things. Do your dailies or whatever if you need be. There's so much more to grind for it, but it is so potent now. It is ridiculous. And I know casino's a hassle for a lot of people. I think it's rigged in my case, because there's a lot of times I get the chance to double up and it goes like worst case scenario. Like, how do I keep having a 10% or less chance happening like non-stop? I think it's rigged. I still do it anyway because I still need some of that stuff like the gems. But again, unfortunately, you just gotta deal with it. If you don't do it that way, you're gonna have to go get gold and spend that to convert to gems. I mean, convert to coins for the casino. Then you can go get your gems. But it takes 20 million gold in order to get 1 million casino coins that way. So it's not worth. But anyways, that's all for this. This video is going on long enough. I just talked mostly about random stuff, but again, gems, gems, gems. Powerful, potent, get them. But that's all for now, guys. More will come soon, and take care.